and the sun retired. Tulip lights and fireflies, there's magic in July. So I was in Clifton Park, New York yesterday, which is not in the middle of nowhere, but it's on the way. And as I was leaving the hotel to do this long drive home, I noticed there was a guitar store just an eighth of a mile up the road. So we can give that a little checky check. And I wandered around, ended up in the sort of special collections room where this older gentleman was ripping away on an electric guitar. And I looked around and he said, "How you doing?" With that tone that lets you know this person works here and they probably own the joint. He did, in fact, own the joint. Asked if I wanted to see anything. I said, "No, but what would you play?" He goes, "Oh, well, acoustic. I'd play this 1929 Martin." Plays this amazing old instrument. Sounds so beautiful. And electric, I'd probably play that Telecaster over there. Oh, but there's also this. And he shows me this beautiful Paul Reed Smith blue figured maple. I mean, when he held it in the light, it was like an ocean was shimmering in the wood grain. So gorgeous. And then he tells me a story about how he and his business partner had been meeting with the maker of that guitar, Paul Reed Smith, in Maryland. And they had seen these 4 pieces of wood stacked up in the corner. Like, what's that? Oh, those all come from the same tree. So the grain matches, and it's some of the most beautiful maple I've seen. I'm like, well, will you use that to make the custom guitar you're making for us? And he did, and they loved it so much they ordered 3 of them. And that model didn't end up going into production, so they're the only ones in the world. Cool story. And he asked what I did, and I told him about what I do. And since guitars were on the brain, given where we were standing, I told him how I was in a master class that I'd been invited as a guest lecturer to talk about storytelling and illustrating how the storyteller's power comes from the ability to say, here's what's most important in the scene. And just kind of on a whim, I grabbed the guitar next to me, this one, and I played a song, popular pop song that I can't play here for copyright reasons because we're on YouTube, about a fine girl that does a masterful job, line by line, of saying what's most important until we're totally dialed into the character and what matters to her, and we're on her team. And after we were done, the host of the masterclass, shout out to Lorianne, said, "Do you sing and play guitar in all your keynotes?" And I said, "No." She said, "Well, you should, because that was great." So I do have a new version of the keynote. If I've spoken for you before, there's something fun that I can share with you. But I told this story about the guitar and the keynote and whatever to Tom, and he was sort of laughing. "Oh, that's great. I never realized that about that song." And when I was leaving, "Hey, take my card." "Oh yeah, you take mine. Be in touch if you're ever up here. If you come around, all right, see you around." And feeling like, oh yeah, I want to keep in touch with that guy. And it's just this sort of warm moment between us. When's the last time you left a store feeling like you needed to keep in touch with the person who works there? Why did it happen? As I was driving down the road, I'm like, well, that was interesting. Then I realized, of course, he told me a story about this special guitar. I told him a story about pulling music into a sort of a keynote speaking masterclass moment thing. We both shared a little of our lives. Stories have value. We'd exchange things of value, so there's some reciprocity there. But because they're stories, they trigger oxytocin, the chemical of empathy and bonding. This is how you know that you're connected to your people. So of course we felt a connection. So if you want to form a connection quickly, try trading stories. We'll see you next time.